Hello, and welcome back to When the Mask Falls, episode 10. Did you miss me? I told you this would be the most consistently inconsistent podcast yet. I was on such a roll for the first 9 episodes, but then, man, life happened. Work and everything in between just got crazy the last couple days. The last few days have been an emotional whirlwind. So much so that yesterday I completely crashed for 4 hours of solid sleep in the middle of the afternoon. That's the longest stretch of rest I've had in ages. But here's the kicker. It wasn't just exhaustion from the chaos. It was exhaustion from the mix of excitement and the weight of imposter syndrome. Excitement over some new grants that we were awarded, and excitement from finance committee and board meetings that actually felt rewarding, and right alongside that, extreme exhaustion from feeling like an imposter all week. So here I am tonight. I was supposed to be cleaning, but instead I'm recording this, wrapping up a few personal things before I tackle the to-do list tomorrow. And honestly, I look forward to tomorrow being a stay-home, see-no-one kind of day. A reset, a chance to prayerfully find the hyper-focus and energy I need to finally clean this house and prep for a peace pole ceremony on Sunday. This episode, while I share the highs of the week, is really about imposter syndrome, how exhausting it is, and how it shows up in your everyday life as a human, as a mother, as a daughter, and certainly as a leader. This week was filled with wins, big ones, the kind that definitely caused for celebration. We had huge grants come through for each of our AHECs. Growth for our organization and restructuring was announced, and meetings that normally feel like a chore were actually positive and encouraging. And yet, imposter syndrome doesn't care about evidence. It doesn't care about the accomplishments. It creeps in anyway. Instead of saying, "We did it," my brain said, "Did we really deserve this? Or did we just get lucky? Or what part did I even really play in that? Those other players are far more important than me." That's the exhaustion part. The moment that should feel like victory gets stolen by doubt, and that doubt adds weight until your body finally says enough. And that's where my 4-hour nap came in. My crash wasn't just physical, it was mental, emotional, and spiritual burnout all rolled together. Imposter syndrome at its core is feeling like a fraud even in the face of proof you're not. It's when success feels like an accident, when recognition feels like a mistake. It's when you believe one day that people will realize you don't actually belong. You know, it's sneaky because it doesn't just hit when you're at work or when you're taking on something new. It slips into every role you hold. Here's what it can sound like. As a mom, it's, am I doing enough for my kid? Am I too distracted that I'm messing up all the time? As a daughter, it's, am I showing up enough for my dad or my brother? Do they see me as reliable or just always too busy for them? As a leader, what if my team realizes I don't have all the answers? What if they see the messy side, the unorganized, the behind a few months on things side of me, the unpolished version of me? And as a person, everyone else is doing better. Why can't I just get it together? Here's some universal little imposter moments so you can see yourself in it too. Sitting in a classroom thinking, I don't belong here. Everyone else is way smarter. Starting a new job and Googling acronyms under the table, convinced that you're faking it. Scrolling social media and seeing perfect lives while yours feels messy. Accepting a compliment and immediately wanting to explain why you don't deserve it. Those are all signs of imposter syndrome. It's the constant background noise of not being enough, no matter how much you're actually doing. This podcast is called When the Mask Falls because imposter syndrome forces us to wear masks. Masks of competence, masks of confidence, masks that say, I've got this handled, even when inside you're questioning everything. People see the polished version, photos, achievements, wins. They don't see the late night doubts, the crash naps, the tears you're crying while you're folding laundry. And because we only see other people's masks, we convince ourselves that we're the only ones struggling. But we're not. Everyone's carrying something. Everyone cracks under their masks. The hardest part of imposter syndrome is how it ties into your identity. It's not just, did I do this well? It's, am I enough? Enough as a mom, enough as a leader, enough as a daughter, and enough as a friend? Am I even enough as a person? That question has no finish line. No matter what you do, imposter syndrome will always whisper more. More effort, more success, more perfection. And that's why it's so draining. You're always chasing an imaginary finish line that doesn't exist. So how do we deal with it? I don't have a magic cure, but here are some things that help me. And some things that I'm still learning to do myself. Accept the compliment. Stop deflecting and just say thank you. Keep the receipts. Write down big wins. Write down small wins. Put them out when the voice says that you have done nothing. Review them. Go back over to see how much you have achieved. Break the silence. Share your cracks with someone. When you admit it, others will too. And then suddenly, you'll realize you're not alone. Rest without guilt. That crash nap, as much as I felt like it was a waste of time, it was so needed. It's not a weakness, it's a reset. Rest is fuel, not failure. Speak truth back to lies. When the voices say, you don't belong, remind yourself, I am here because I worked for it. The goal isn't to erase imposter syndrome. It's to refuse to let it run the show. So, did you miss me the last couple days? Probably not, but I needed to do this episode. I needed to sit down, to be honest, and remind myself that imposter syndrome isn't proof that I don't belong. It's proof that I care deeply about the roles I hold. If you've been carrying that exhaustion, that doubt, that voice saying you are not enough, you're not alone. And honestly, the fact that you feel it probably means that you're growing, stretching, and stepping into something even bigger than you thought possible. Episode 10 is in the books. Inconsistent? Absolutely. Honest? Always. Until next time, take off the mask, breathe deep, and remember, you are enough exactly as you are.